The men's 200 meter dash in 2025 has honestly been pretty mixed when it comes to the results. I mean, if you're looking at the clock, we haven't seen anybody go 19.6, 19.5, or anything like that up until this point. But Letsile Tebogo is still the reigning Olympic gold medalist. And Noah Lyles is also still the reigning world champion, because those two things are separate in the world that we're actually living in. But Letsile Tebogo didn't go particularly fast till like a week and a half to 2 weeks ago. And Noah Lyles didn't run any races at all until he pulled up in Monaco. Basically, like, most of the season was already done before we hit USA's. Like, we was in July already by the time we saw him on a track. Now that that race is done, I've been reading the comment sections around what people expect for the Worlds, who they think is going to win. Again, we're talking about the 200 specifically. And I've already put out a video where I addressed the Noah Lyles situation, because once he did win in a race with Letsile Tebogo and a whole bunch of other men who've been in Olympic finals and World Championship finals, I thought that was a pretty good announcement that he is back and ready to go take his throne as the king of the 200. It doesn't mean that he's gonna win, but the idea that you're gonna beat him, people have to have very realistic expectations about what it's gonna take to pull it off. And like I said, I've been reading the comments, and now I would like to respond. Because when we talk about the fastest man in the world, I know it normally applies to the 100, but I'm going to apply it to the 200 for the moment, because every event has a fastest man for that year. And if the clock is all you care about, then you're going to be incredibly misled, as far as I can tell, as to what to expect in these races. Because yes, people can run fast clocks, but if you run fast clocks, and then we put you in races with other fast people, you don't win. And I don't mean just one time, I mean consistently. Do you really want to call that person the fastest in that event? That is why we run the races. So I am going to walk you through what is really going on in the 200. Because right now we have a world leader, and his name is T'Mars McCallum. He's a college athlete who represents the University of Tennessee, and he went 19.73 seconds wind legal. The wind was close to the allowable limit, but it was wind legal. And T'Mars McCallum is not a name that most people were thinking about when it comes to the USA Championships. So with Noah Lyles and Letsile Tebogo on the board, because trust me, I'm getting to them in a moment, I'm going to walk you through, rationally speaking, what we're really seeing in the 200, with a focus on who's actually been winning races and why. Let's just start with T'Mars McCallum, since he is now the world leader. That is a name that I'm very familiar with. I've seen him in the college ranks, and I even know what he was doing in high school in the 100. But now we're talking about this moment. Because as far as I know, he still has more college eligibility, and I expect him to be back in their uniform next year. But T'Mars McCallum will be at the USA Championships. So when we talk about him in the 200, 19.73 is fast. It definitely is. He did it at the Ed Murphy Classic. But we can't stop the conversation there. This is the same young man who ran the NCAA this entire season. He didn't even make the finals at the SEC Outdoor Conference meet. He did, however, make the NCAA Championship final, and he got 5th. That said, T'Mars McCallum is the world leader, but we've seen him in competitive championship environments. Do you really think that when Team USA goes off in the men's 200, I'm going to give you 2 names, Kenny Bednarek and Courtney Lindsay, I'm getting to them in a moment. Do you really think T'Mars McCallum is beating both of them? So let's just assume there's one more spot left for Team USA. And let's also assume that Arian Knighton is able to get on the track to run for that spot. I mean, past history is not going to make me take T'Mars McCallum. He might make that final, that I could see happening. But what he does in it, as far as going top 3, is another conversation. But hey, I'm a T'Mars McCallum fan. So let's just keep looking at the rest of the board to see what else is going on. But if you're new here, I want to say thank you for even making it this far into the video. And I'm Coach Rob, and if you really want to know what's going on with the fastest athletes in the world, then you are in the right place. And if anything that I say actually connects with you, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe. But if I don't, just let me know in the comment section, because I try to read them all. We know that Kenny Bednarek, who I've already brought up, has been dominant. He's been winning every single race he's run this year. Every single one. at least individually in the 100 and the 200 for that matter. So because of what he did at Grand Slam track, again, we could focus on clocks if that's what you want to do, because he did go fast in the 200 in a race that was wind assisted. Like it was a 19.7 something. But if you throw that out because you want to, he still has a 19.8 on the board. But he's been winning races. He won a race with Brian Lavelle of Jamaica, who went, last time I checked, I think it was a windy 19.7 or something like that. He also won the Jamaican championships in that event. Like, when I say he's been winning races, real competitors have been in these races, and Kenny Bednarek keeps winning every single time. So if you just want to focus on the clock, then where do you put him? Because, yeah, he's top 10 in the world this year, but the clock is going to be very limiting in terms of realistically when he competes, what is going to happen. There's a very small group of men who have a prayer of beating him in a 200. Their names are Letsile Tebogo and Noah Lyles. I don't have any past evidence like that. If you're not those two men, you're really going to do it. I mean, maybe Courtney Lindsay thinks he could, but that brings me up to the next thing. Courtney Lindsay, like, he's on the top 10 list. He's going to be there at USA's. But, like I said before, he is not Kenny Bednarek. As a matter of fact, he definitely ain't Letsile Tebogo, because we've watched him race against him. And we've watched him lose. See where I'm going with this? Because now when I bring up Noah Lyles' name, along with a whole bunch of others, let's deal with the field that he beat in Monaco. Because that was his season opener. That's what it was. It was a 19.8 into a minus headwind. So the guys he beat, as far as I was concerned, I saw everything I needed to see. Because that was not their season opener. They've already shown us what form they're in. Jareem Richards has made it to World Championship finals in the 200. He's won championships in World Indoor in the 400 and so on and so forth. Like, Olympic final in the 4. Great talent. He was there, and he was behind. Alex Ogando was in the Olympic final, and for that matter, he was in the World Championship final in the 200, I believe, the year before as well. Regardless, he was in that race and lost. Both of them ran 19.86 earlier this year. When you move away from both of those men, Maka Sharamba was also there, who beat T'Mars McCallum at the NCAA championship meet for the record. And for that matter, at the SEC conference meet. But Maka Sharamba was in the Olympic final for the 200. And he ran a fast time, like in Monaco. But no, he didn't beat Letsile Tebogo. So now that we know that Letsile, when he was there, getting second to Noah, because some of the comments I see are referring to Letsile like, oh, he wasn't really trying, or he kind of gave that race to Noah. Let's just start there. Do you realize they give out prize money for these races? Like, you don't just run for free. When you're running a Diamond League race in Monaco, if you win, you get more money than if you don't. So the idea that you're just going to mail it in, I ain't buying it. I mean, yes, Letsile Tebogo does have a history of when he's, not going to win a race that maybe he doesn't put all of his effort in when at the moment he realizes he might not win it. Maybe that's what people are talking about the last 10 to 15 meters when it was clear that Noah was going to get to the line first. But that's not the same thing as giving somebody the race. That's why we run the races. You actually have to win those races. Letsile really thought he was going to win. And everybody else in the world who's been running fast, not everybody, but a large percent of that top 10 list, was in that race. So let's just play transitive property for a moment. Let's go back to math class. Letsile Tebogo has already beaten Courtney Lindsay. He beat Jareem Richards, and he beat Alex Ogando in that race, along with Maka Sharamba, who was also in the Olympic final. So he's in fields with all the fast men in the world, not named Noah Lyles, and he's beating them. The only thing that changed was that Noah Lyles was in a lane. That's it. And once he got in that lane and the gun went off, he won the race. That brings us back to the large conversation. You can focus on the clock if you want to. Win factors on 200 are already kind of scattered if you're asking me. It's a little hard to judge because, you have to run a turn and then a straight. Is the wind consistent? Is it swirling a little bit? How is it? I mean, if we're just tracking on the home straight, how did that really affect with the turn? I mean, there's a lot of factors. There's a lot of factors that come into play, which is why I don't care as much as I do in the 100 about wind as in the 200. I just don't give it as much credit. And again, I'm even reflecting back on my own sprinting career. Like, I've been able to run fast with less than ideal 200-meter conditions on wind factors compared to when they told me that I had positive winds to help me. Just saying. But it is what it is. Noah Lyles won that race. He might not win again at the World Championship final, but if you understand that he faced off with Letsile Tebogo, who was the world leader, and everybody else who Letsile has been beating, like we've seen him race, they were behind him. The only man who wasn't was Noah. You should start to see that actually running in races and competing is what matters. I mean, maybe none of this is important, because if the clock is king, then I guess T'Mars McCallum is going to win the world championship this year. But hey, stranger things have happened. As far as I can tell, if I'm going off of actual races that have been run, the fastest men in the 200 this year are the same ones who we thought they were. Kenny Bednarek is undefeated because he hasn't received a challenger worthy of him, at least not yet. Letsile Tebogo has taken care of business against everybody else in the world not named Noah Lyles. And Noah Lyles has taken care of business the one time he actually stepped to the track, because they gave him a very legitimate field, and he still got the victory. Those are the three men who I expect to be on the podium when it's all done. The same ones that we saw in 2024. Something could change, but if it does, I'm probably going to need new evidence before I believe it. In the sport of track and field, race day is honestly the easy part, because all of the real work gets put in when nobody is watching. When you wear every day is training day gear, you can let the whole world know that your success in competition is not an accident. Order yours at scarecruiting.com/shop or use the link in the description below, and it always comes with free shipping. It's a huge support to me and this channel, so I can continue to make you more content like this. And remember, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe.